everyone, Niev here, and today is day 5 of my deep dive into the Animal Spirit, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. And today we are starting the water cards, and we're going to do the first 4 of the water cards. If you're hearing some like scraping or rubbing sounds in the background, please ignore that. I'm in my ritual room right now, which is attached to our kitchen. And our kitchen is currently being remodeled, and there's people here working and stuff, so that's what that noise is. All right, so let's see. I do have the cards right on top, but before we get to the cards, we're going to read the water section. All right, so water, creatures of the ocean, rivers, and lakes. The creatures of the water element represent our emotional world and our ability to express. These cards point to relationships, love, boundaries, and creativity, our flow, if you will. Water creatures are often drawn to the arts, as they have a natural inclination toward beauty and depth. Several water cards indicate an outpouring of creativity and or emotion. This can be wonderful, joyful, even romantic. However, when water spills and makes a mess, disappointment and sometimes tears, they are water after all, are sure to follow. Ideally, a healthy stream of communication flows through our lives. Not too much water, not too little. All right, so let me get to the water section here. All right, so the water section. Let me pull out the cards, and they should be right on top, and we're doing the first 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. So let's set that to the side. All right. So first up is Crocodile. So Crocodile, resting, submerging, collecting energy, cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussion. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing and building energy, fill up the vital reserves. So your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. When in balance, wise, patient, a silent powerhouse. When out of balance, feels stuck, lashes out. And to bring into balance, rest, Makarasana pose. So that's the yoga part of this deck, which before I started doing the deep dive of this, I've used this deck plenty of times, but I don't think I ever realized how much focus is on yoga in this deck. So I'd never really realized that before. Maybe I've always just used the keywords at the top and not really paid attention to that. But yeah, it has been quite a surprise. So I'm going to pause this, and I am going to write the keywords in my notebook here. And I'm also going to do that for the 3 other cards that we'll be focusing on today. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've recorded all the stuff. Now we're on Stingray. All right, so developing confidence, sense of self, or spine, having a spine. And I do like that it has kind of this chakra thing going on here. So the Stingray card, or chakra, the Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. So when in balance, eager, wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others, quits. To bring into balance, even move through the discomfort. So moving through the discomfort, that could be talking about like actual exercise and like moving and things like that, or it could be pushing through the pain, pushing through the discomfort, something like that, depending on the context of the reading, I guess. All right, so the next card is Fish. All right, I do wish there was more color in this one, but that's okay. All right, so restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. And nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When in balance, adaptable, travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. So, I mean, that's a good advice one there. I've had issues with some of these to bring into balance phrases here or advice, because a lot of them have been either too vague or too specific, but I feel like this one's pretty good. Set a small goal and accomplish it. Okay, so Starfish. I like this one. All right, so beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? So when in balance, uplifting, artistic, expressive. When out of balance, gossips, feels empty. To bring into balance, positive friends. All right, so positive friends, huh? Okay, so to be around positive people, I think, is how I would interpret that. So let's start the readings. We're going to start with Crocodile, and I'm going to shuffle these a little bit and just pick out some random cards. So these little sample readings are just kind of just a 3-card sample going over the a positive of a situation, negative, and the advice of the situation. So yes. All right, I'm going to do one more shuffle here and pull out 2 cards. All right, so, and I'm going to really shuffle these around so I don't know where the crocodile is going to end up in this reading. All right, so let's do this. The positives of the situation, crocodile. The negative is whale. And the advice is bee. All right, so let me see how that's... Let me look up whale and bee in the book, and we'll read this reading. Okay, so the positive of the situation is crocodile, and we have for that wise, patient, a silent powerhouse. So just kind of the positive of the situation is that you're biding your time, you're kind of absorbing the information, and that's a good thing right now. Now for the negatives, we have whale, and let's see what they have here. Heavy slips into old story. So and then up here it says desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. So maybe we're being a little too silent, and if we overthink it, go too deep, it can kind of maybe that's something that we've resorted to before, and we've gone too deep into something and been a little too silent. It is good that we're taking our time, biding our time, and kind of absorbing the information before we act, but maybe it's kind of, with this slips into old story, maybe it's a habit of ours or someone else in the situation. It depends on what this situation is. But maybe it's common for us to kind of get stuck in that moment and to not really budge from there. So the advice was B, and let's see what this says. Mini vacation, or okay, so earnest, hardworking, democratic, and the advice, mini vacation, content, active, vibrant, overworked, annoyed. So maybe the advice here is to step back from it, to get out of this. It is good that we're absorbing some information, but we can find ourselves getting stuck in that position. And so step back, take a little break, go off and sort of do something else to get your mind off of that. And then once we come back to it, maybe we have the deeper knowledge, and we're not getting stuck in that deep place there. All right, so that's how I would read that reading. So let's move on to the next card. Okay, we have the Stingray. That's right. So let's grab the first two cards here, and I'm going to really shuffle these up. All right, let's do this. So positive of the situation is Panther, negative is Elephant, and advice is Stingray. So let me find these in the book. Okay, so the positive of the situation is Panther. We have brave and productive. So annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. Yes. Okay. So there's bravery. We are tackling this, whatever situation this potentially is. We're putting on a brave face and we're being active about it. So elephant is the negatives. So misunderstands fate. So it's unstoppable, auspicious, wise. So yeah, I'm just kind of reading all the keywords here to sort of understand what it's saying here. So we're putting on a brave face, and that is the positive of the situation. We want to be active about it. However, we possibly have a tendency, or whoever this is about has a tendency to maybe to bulldoze over things. They know what needs to be done, but they kind of bulldoze over everyone, and there's a misunderstanding. You could run away with this with a misunderstanding. There's a fire in this belly, in this trunk here, and there's the bravery of it, and the needing to act and be very productive about it. But the negatives are that we can kind of, I keep saying bulldoze, but that it makes sense, especially with the elephant here. It's, we can kind of bulldoze a situation, or whoever this is about doesn't listen and maybe will act without fully understanding what's going on. So the Stingray, let's look at my notes here. Stingray for the advice was move through the discomfort. So, and Stingray was also talking about having a backbone, having a spine. So we do need to listen to what's going on and to fully understand. But I think Stingray is still saying that it's all of these are saying to move forward with it, to keep going. The elephant is the negative, that keep in mind that we need to fully understand what's going on. We need to listen to everyone else, listen to every opinion here, but there's a need to act, and both the Stingray and the Panther say it's time to act. Even the elephant, with it being in the negative position, even the elephant is saying to act, but the elephant is just cautioning to make sure you're not acting on a misunderstanding. So be brave about it, have a backbone, have a spine about it, and move through it. But make sure you get all the information, or make sure you understand the information. That's more, it's not just about getting the information, it's about understanding the information. So that's how I would read that. All right, so the next one was fish. Okay, so we'll grab two cards here. All right, yes, and shuffle this real quick. Okay, so the positive of the situation is fish. The negative is mouse, and the advice is hummingbird. Nice. I like all the black in these cards on this reading. All right, so let me find mouse and hummingbird. Okay, so positives of the situation with fish. I have adaptable, travels well. Other keywords for this were restlessness, a change of focus, lost in the current. The negatives were kind of distracted, changes mind often, set a small goal and accomplish it. So basically just adaptable. So whatever situation is going on, we're finding that we're adapting well to it. So we're able to swim through and adapt well to it. Now, mouse for the negatives is busy with no purpose. Interesting. So we're adapting well to the situation, but we're kind of not fully immersing ourselves in the situation. We're not fully understanding what's going on, and we're kind of giving ourselves busy work to just to move through it, to move through the situation. We've got some busy work going on to try to keep our mind off of it, but this being a negative is saying that we need to be more present in the situation. Maybe you know, adapting well, but we need to fully understand what's going on and to be present in the moment. So the advice was hummingbird, and it says to take a class, which I all right, so what are the other words for this? Positive, enthusiastic, spiritual resourcefulness. So enthusiasm, that makes sense for this. We're here with the fish, we're going through the motions, and it is a positive in the sense that we are adapting well to the situation. We're going through the motions, we're doing it. Mouse is saying that we're not being fully present in the situation though, and we need to find, with hummingbird here, it's saying find something that makes us enthusiastic about what's going on, and then we can kind of get out of this situation here where we're not fully present. So yeah, that's how I would read that. Okay, that one actually turned out pretty well, I think. And then the last one was Starfish, so let's grab 2 cards for that, and we'll do a quick shuffle. All right, so positives, Starfish; negatives, Peacock; and advice is Buffalo. Okay, so the positives of this situation: uplifting, artistic, expressive. So we've got a very upbeat attitude about this situation. We're feeling that we can express ourselves, and we are expressing ourselves very well in this situation. But let's see what Peacock says for the negatives. So can't digest situations. So maybe our enthusiasm, I guess, or uplifting attitude about this is a bit more on the superficial side. Sorry about the dog. A bit more on the superficial side. There's not a whole lot of depth to our happiness or contentment here. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of seeing on this. So, but the buffalo is the advice, and okay, this doesn't help. It says prayer, bhakti. All right, so let me see what else this says here. So grounded yet heavenly. So finding a more balanced approach. So we are being uplifting about this situation, which is great, but our, I guess, enthusiasm or whatever is a bit on the superficial side, and maybe we need to find a balance. We need to maybe be a bit more discerning about what's going on, because we are being very uplifting about it, but it's superficial. So we need to find something to. We need to find more nuance with the situation, and if we find more nuance with the situation, maybe we can have a more deeper appreciation of what's going on instead of a superficial appreciation, if that makes sense. All right, so that was that reading, and that was it for today. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing the water cards 5 through 9, I think. Yes, 5 through 9. All right, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.